is on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. If you quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous, you would think that happens in there. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Working for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. I'm going mainstream. Damn.
Good morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. So we've been doing the Twitch authentication stuff so long, I've forgotten what that interrupted. I know it's been kind of like the thing that precludes all other things. So I know there's some map things that bother me. I kind of wanted to look into some of the Stepmania some of the song selection stuff. I came up with a possible way to visualize some of the filtering. I don't know if it'll work well with things. And then just kind of generally maybe doing some factor elimination or something. Could be an interesting project. So we've got the map. We've got the map processing. I have a notes. And we've got data server. I think I did that. That's pure optimization. Yeah, that's a big project. Yes. So that's a little pain. That's more for the command line type of structure. Yeah, so, well, this is a pain. Getting the object data is a pain. I guess one thing I could be doing is I keep running like one of the problems I have is kind of like running just tasks. There's client builds, there's map updates. Just that sort of running tasks on events or schedules or things is sort of a thing. I know I've been running across some things that doing. There's things like, what is it, Netlify and serverless computing. I kind of don't want to do the serverless stack per se because I've just been spending so much time on that. I know GitHub has a task runner. I saw somebody using a GitLab task runner that was, well, for static sites it was more general. So I probably actually need to put that down on my to-do list. Of course, everything goes to the bottom. Oh, another thing we have to look at some point. I mean, we've still got a while, but at some point. I mean, that would properly be in data server. We need a new server, new database host. And I haven't checked the record count lately. That's gonna be kind of up there, because that will disappear in us someday. So I don't think I have a task just to run lineage, but I guess this could probably use an update anyway. And that will give us I think it gives us the total records as one of the steps of processing. And I think we're still in the 700,000s. But I would need to find some other way to do the database. Its number of rows, lives is going to be that many, so there's no... Well, I guess you could fork it by server. And that might be kind of a way to cheese it into, well, because those would still be $9 servers, which is probably be more than the $50 server. So splitting by server doesn't help. I guess one of the main things we need from this is name search. Is it a name index and some kind of backing store? So there's default position with no active monuments. That's not an issue right now, although I'm not really sure how to pick that besides this. I'd have to have like some sort of process that like centered on the most active tile from some sort of meta process from the tile processing. That's a bug, but it's not a very common one. Oh yeah, we've got a situation where occasionally the live processing fails. And it's like, you run it again and it's fine. But you end up importing some lives that don't get lineage assigned, and then that completely breaks the front end. We've got some animation range issues. We've got object data. And we have no concept of services either. There's tap out radius, there's homelands, there's optimization. Has Leaflet done anything? I think there was a small update last I looked. Yeah, and this looks like it's it. Fix double click. Use passive event listeners. I had to do something with a event listener, so that could be a breaking change. Prevent default. And this passes. Passive event listener is not supported. Not triggering the DOM elements when in draw mode. Oh, so this is not what I thought it was. Merging web standard. A major potential boost to scroll performance. Scrolling to block on touch and event wheel listeners. Won't call prevent default to disable scrolling. Okay, so this actually isn't relevant to me. Maybe there could be a performance benefit to that. Also, there's nothing about, what was the thing I saw? Was this the rejected PR? Closed. Okay, so there was a different one that fixed it. Okay, Leaflet Master. Okay, so this was April 16th. One 1.60 was November. 1.7 dev. So these are probably gonna be like download packages. Yeah. Is the master changelog a rolling? No. Well, this is only the object pixel layer, which is something we don't normally use. Latest minor versions. Yeah, presumably they're doing some project tracking somewhere to keep track of what the changes are. They read through this and they have context on what all that means. November 5th, 8 release bump version. Ah. Huh. So probably the main reason to do that would just be to clear out any, any little differences before the next version came along. So there's some backend stuff I need to do. Well, thankfully the other services don't update very often, so it wouldn't be too big overhead to have that be manual for now. Trying to think what's been bothering me on a regular basis. Oh, and this should be... I hate that this does nothing if the task's not named. So we probably want... Well... This could be a problem for coloring, but it shouldn't completely break the UI, so you probably want to fix that. Maybe I could work on some support for that. I don't have a good solution for this except to start developing some sort of like activity layer in the map processing, which is sort of something I want to do anyway. Eventually. So that you have some layer of detail that's out beyond what you can currently see. It's like a map activity, like heat map or something. And then that would be something you could pick up. Well, that's lives missing. I don't know if it had total database size. Well, there's no lineage again. Maybe do something with that. Maybe we could do something with that. I'm going to have to try and remember when I'm using it to look at what is bothering me, basically. And I guess we could do this as a way to generally keep up to date, so when we hopefully, well, presuming there is something that would be actually useful to us, we won't have as much trauma. I guess before I go changing things, I should actually test out my local dev environment for this, which I haven't used in ages. So what do you need? This is front end. So we probably need an Elm compiler. We probably need some kind of server. So we think we're actually going to be doing MISC updates. Okay, so this is updating. Why do I not have monuments? Was this not an Elm reactor? Object servers. You know what? Not network settings. I turned off the cache buster for something else. Oop, that was the wrong close. Why we no fetch monuments? I don't even... Did I have a layer for that? Oh, no. What time do you think this is? Oh, you know what? I probably haven't done monuments fetch on this in ages. There's nothing recent. $774. So yeah, we'll have to deal with the server sometime. With the database server. Where am I getting monument information from? If it's not a monuments file. Oh, do I have a separate process for monuments? If it did, it would be in here. Well, no, because that... No, because this updater is still doing it. And it should... Unless I've got the path set up wrong. I put monuments here. No. Where the heck do I process monuments to nowadays? Well, I guess my local is technically using this. Is there monuments update for that? No. Task monuments. Oh yeah, you're still database. Or do you like dump a file out when you're done? That's database. Ah. Data. Okay. Just went into a different directory. Oh, so this is in part dependent on server? We got servers. So what makes you request monuments? Well, are these files updated? That looks pretty recent. Oh, I've made a terrible mistake. Was I using... Was it ACRC? I think it uses a local file, but there's no... I guess act manual, technically. So then we have to go back to this to get the exclude. Where was I? Probably in the One Life stuff, we had to exclude some things. Okay, so it's not here. Those are all directories. No, actually it's the file lister. Which is actually... So there's... Yeah, and I never added the new directory to this, so that's one of them. I mean, PL's the big one. MLTest, yeah, PL. Let's see if that's sufficient. That's sufficient, okay. Source map UI. Acquire monuments. Set server update. So server changed. Or if we added this any layer for that server. So why, pray tell, are you not requesting this? Oh, actually, maybe that's 17. Yeah, okay, that's the 17. So I don't have good date translation on these. That looks like map update time. Oh, also, once I got this set up, it probably wouldn't have... Ah, okay, so we had just locked into a position. All right, so to simulate the error... Oh, we probably... need to run a server. No response. I don't, is that not any kind of... Cross request did not succeed. Well, that'll do it. Okay, so I happen to have one here. And there's all our garbage. So we could directly simulate there, although I'm not really touching that project. No whole data, lineage. That's supposed to supply a 0, which I don't think actually breaks it. Oops. Wait. How are we getting colors here? That's not what I think it is. What? Fetch matching lives, lineage lives. You're only doing a string query. That's search. Oh, maybe API URL is... I mean, we're clearly creating a useful query. Am I in a different branch or something? It's supposed to be like compiled. I guess since it's local, I can't change the view. I don't think I've ever found a repository yet that actually goes down to 0 objects. I've always got garbage. Okay, so we rebased that. Search term equals... search term. Okay, so that's this search. What is... What is the other search? Select show, fetch data for time. From now, well, okay, so that gets you a timestamp, and that does fetch data layer, which does all this stuff. And oh, because you're not directly parsing it, you're passing it on to either end. That's why we didn't have the validation going on. Lineage 2 string. That's passing it to color lineage, so that's not going to have the dot. Life dot color lineage. Point.lineage 2 string for update lineages. This is selecting the candidate character for naming. And that's another thing I kind of want to update. It's the names that are changing all the time. Yeah, I guess the easiest way to test this is to actually change the server. Don't need you. I need something here. There's lineage search. Maybe a point presenter. Point.lineage is null, and now, like, none of this stuff should work. Actually, I kind of want to also investigate the why nothing works part of this. And there it is. Why would this make nothing work? There's not a callback here. Okay, so it affects redraw. Well, it's not useful. Yeah, this is the color legend. So you're only called by that. So redraw of the legend shuts down everything? I mean, I see how it blocks redraw. What did you do? Because these are all commands. So did it, like, break the Elm loop or something? Because commands are supposed to be essentially fire and forget. Now I guess this could technically occur during a data layer update. So is it possible that Elm says, if you throw an exception, I'm not going to talk to you anymore? I mean, I guess catching the exception is probably a moot point on causing it to not break as much. Okay. Oh, wait. It only delayed the effect. Possibly something else. Ah. Type point color, lineage color. Yeah. There's that lineage 2 string again. So it seems like if there's an exception during an Elm command, yeah, leaflet still moves. Elm stops sending commands. Well, do we stop sending commands or do we stop getting Elm events? Oh gosh, the time updates. Let's turn that off for this. Okay, so Elm is not itself broken. Oh no, we had the catch there. We have to do this. Okay, no, Elm is not completely broken. It's just not sending port messages anymore. Okay. So if a command raises an exception, Elm stops talking to you. I mean, I guess it's good for noticing errors. Because otherwise, you just be like, well, this one thing doesn't work, and it'd be accepting all the time. We're thrilled about indenting everything here. Interesting. Why was the exception 3? Perhaps I'm actually rusty on my try-catch stuff. Because the actual error was point... And it did print that from somewhere. Console.error error. Statement pass exception object to error handler. E.instance of. So I'm still getting U from somewhere. I need a stack to figure out how that... Maybe it's a leaflet triggered update? Null has no properties. That is... It must be the 2 string? Interesting. What is with this exception ID, though? Maybe leaflet's doing something? But it's still printing it. You get this in the right place? Yeah. Yeah, we're still seeing some of the errors. Maybe we trigger off some asynchronous stuff with leaflet. I'm really baffled by the 3. Oh, wait. Just overreached. Okay. Oh. There's no compact way to print that. If I did not do the string... Nope, it prints out the full stack regardless. That's unfortunate. And then this must come from a leaflet update? Unfortunately, the only way I know how to do that... Well, technically I caught that one. Where are you? Where's my stack? Oh, because it only happens when you search. That's scopes. Set map time. Update lineages. Map up set timeout. Okay, so we are doing a timeout that is causing that to begin uncaught exception at a later time. All right, but it doesn't break the port. Oh, I just removed that. So with the white space, oh, it tried to merge some random stuff. Look, the brackets match. All right, now, about that lineage stuff. So you're a big problem. And then I think everything else is going to come down to color lineage. Well, this gets put into math, so it might in fact be 0. All right, so they're all black. They all get counted as the same family. But you can continue using it. Oh. Were we paused on this before it hadn't quite hit top yet? That might be it. Oh wait, that's actually index? Fortunately, it doesn't show me this particular... It's probably the leaflet CSS. Or maybe it's generating it. Yep, there it is. So that's kind of a leaflet thing. And maybe they're doing that for some backwards compatibility type stuff. Now we need an editor. This can go back to normal. So actually, I guess I probably should have included that. What's other little stuff? Default position needs something to go on. Server time selections. Well, this is still kind of a crummy interface for setting stuff over here, just what we've got. Because if we get all this data, it's set for this data. Now, usually I'll move this up to get this point up. And this is the range of the data we queried. I think the issue, or maybe it's specifically this. No, if we request data, that should set the range. The issue may have been that I was looking at individual lives, which update the range, and then the only way to get it back is to do a new search. So that might actually come down to implementing my own fancy time control. What can we do with that now? I know to do the sort of data-based one, we'd need probably some specialized output data that kind of track stats. Although those queries could perhaps go to the data server if they hit the cache first. That still could be a little slow to wake up. Unfortunately, it's going to be that's a rather involved project. This could either be really easy or really hard. There's also the problem with the UI for it. Nope, that didn't copy. So somebody added a feature. And they used what they knew with a standard C++. Okay, we miscopied a characters here somewhere. Or I miscopied when I was getting it originally. Well, we're going to have to go hunting again. Although I guess really what I would do is find the repository. Is this just our default? And then, see, I think it was an ADK one. Nope, that's within here. I need the settings page server. Nope, that's a different thing. That's yeah, maybe added spawning code. Maybe you had one that was from the pull request? But that's it. And there's definitely a different hash. I need to find a way to do this. Oh, it's just an explicit object range. Okay. Okay, so we've got bounding box. Bounding box. Oh, that is total width, unlike Jason who does the radius. Yeah, and this is based on this stuff. So I don't know what happened to you. Was it not? Maybe it was Control V. Oh, this is actually after we've hashed it? Oh, okay. I need to do some other investigation here then. Maybe the hashing happens on the client side? Oh, okay. Remove seed from email. Well, it's the simple hash. Seed to limp pointer, at least one character. No, don't need that for here. Okay, so this should be trivial to implement. The standard library stuff is going to be interesting. So stand seedsec. I did look this up a little bit before. Consumes a sequence of integer value data. Is a requested number of unsigned integer values. That is used by this thing. A large number of random engines. Oh wait, are you literally just? I give you an array and it returns. Then this is seek generate. Seeds begin, seeds end. So this might be literally this thing accepts a sequence and we have a one element sequence. In which case that is not a problem. Mersenne twister engine with a whole bunch of stuff. Type of generators generated. So you're taking some sort of argument, and it's not clear from this what that argument is. It's a template. None of these are SSQ. I think we were just there. Oh, maybe this has to do with that would be the constructor. Which takes a seek. Sequence seed object. Please enter a seed sec. So this was just taking a straight up string apparently. As the seed bytes. Seed 1 is a clock. Seed 2 is this thing. So these are all the parameters. That is... I mean, chances of it being an Elm are slim. You could probably do a very slow one. It might be an might be a cute little different RNGs. Make config. Base generators interfloat. Yeah. And then this is PCG. So this is a particular algorithm. I think I looked this up before, and it's involved enough that creating a non-license bound version would be kind of hard. Yeah, they seem to be completely ignoring me here. It's like there's no hits for JavaScript, sorry. The problem is we don't just need a Mersenne twister. We need a bit identical Mersenne twister. C++. That doesn't look like JavaScript. This is Go implementation. Which maybe that would be different enough to translating it. But this kind of math, I don't know if you can do this kind of precise math in Elm. Particularly, I think I saw somebody saying that, or it was some library, they could only count on 52 bits of precision or whatever. From the floating point numbers, so you had to do a lot of extra work. Which actually, that would apply to regular JavaScript too. It's not even just an Elm thing. Now the funny thing was, I'd swear I found implementations of this. Maybe it was Mersenne Twister? Yeah, and this is where we run into it's like they're reasonably open licenses, but we would have to at least do credit. Is there another tag on the map, I guess? Namespace. Wait, namespace. Oh, this kind of namespace. Okay, so this is already a modification of somebody else's code. And this is just, okay, yeah, this is just a gist. Not return the same result as C. JavaScript number double precision loss. No public stuff. There's C. Merazine.js. JavaScript's integer system. Now this is just Merazine.js. But as is, not liable. Redistribution provided must not be represented. Appreciated but not required. Plainly marked. Notice may not be removed or altered. State what you changed. So maybe that would have to have, I don't know, its own little statement. This particular file is licensed as that. There's no... Okay, this is C, this is C++, JavaScript. Invented anyway for any scaled. Do you have any comment? Yeah, this is the one I kept running across that had the must retain copyright notice. Or it's a transliteration of the C. I guess I haven't actually looked at this code yet. It might be very similar. Oh, this might have built-in constants, in which case I have to try and figure out where those constants go. It is just a seed from a... So we'd have to hope that these are like the standard constants. And that kind of means you have to get something working against the test values. To see if you get the same result. Well, I guess we can see if this works, and then figure out how we do all the license attribution. This is JavaScript, so it would have to happen on the JavaScript side for now. Porting it to Elm would be especially ambitious given all the bit stuff. That would be like its own special super project. So where was work? No, that was Misc Seeds. It's Biome Ran Seed. Where the heck did I save that? Did I put it into a different project? Oh no, Words to Chords. Well, I guess we can just start with one of them and see if we get similar results. So yeah, this is basically the kind of thing we were looking at here. Could be any of those. I don't want to mess with it. Just got a blank line in here. All right. This would want to be pulled out to a function at some point. So step one. Car. And Sterling seed is var. Man, that messes this spacing up. We might also have to deal with like care codes and such. I guess there's a better way to iterate the members of a string. Is the string that length? Yes. Now this is going to be ASCII characters. I think it's carcodat. So that happened for my other project. Now this I don't have a reference for, so I might have to try and get some C code running at some point here. So I meant undeclared variable. Undeclared variable I. Who knows if it's right? So that was the easy part. Oh, this is another one. More idiomatic. Somewhat unit tested. Okay, this is based on a port of that code. If this one works, it's a lot more compact. I just don't know if the parameters are going to be right. Let's see, this is specifically... hmm. Okay, I guess that didn't work. Oh, no, we're still in the zip file. Which is exactly the same structure. Now maybe I don't actually want to package this as a separate thing. Long run. Of course, I've been thinking that maybe I should do some sort of bundle step anyway. All right, so merzine.js is merzine twister is a function of a seed that has a random on it. I guess this is, we have to care a little bit about what we're doing with this. Now, the sequence is just to get the input to this. Oh, and then there's uniform int distribution. But maybe that's just doing the bounding part, but we might have to look at how they're doing that. Okay, so they merzine twister. This dot random. This is, okay, so we have to do a new. Ooh, it's thinking about that. don't even think I've run it yet. Does it do a bunch of startup stuff? Defines the twist function. It does twist once. I don't see a stop button. Oh, okay. Object random. Okay, it gives us numbers. What does uniform int distribution do? Evenly distributed. Are you just doing the simple thing, or are you doing something really complicated we have to simulate? Well, let's try some simple things, I guess. So seed bounding box. Well, those are going to be integer divisions, so it should be plus and minus 5,000. The standard way, the quick and dirty way to do that is modulus, although this is a minus. So we would take, we're going to be doing this twice. Let's see if we can get the first coordinate. And we would do oh wait, does JavaScript have? I guess it does because it's not complaining. Oh, maybe it's plus plus I was thinking of. Of course, we actually have several steps here. That would be the simple way of doing it. So it's definitely not that. And yeah, we might have to go into the C code to see where we go wrong here. Unfortunately, I can't actually see inside uniform distribution. Is there any way to see the source code of this in some library? Not portable. Well, maybe that tells us something about it. Oh. The distributions themselves do not. Different implementations across the compilers. Roll my own Okay, so it's actually the... is it the distribution or the generator? All right, well... Okay, so this is the browser. Git sourceware. No such repository. Obviously mistyped something. Oh, I'm probably not using specifying .git. No, I had that in there. This is going to be a big one. Any other notes on this? So we found the source. Maybe they'll talk about the details. There's a B method. There's a version in Boost. Zero range. Okay. Random range divided by range. And we're probably living glib. 2 divisions. No division at all. Currently in review. So this gives you an even distribution. Doesn't necessarily give you bit identical versions. So now we have to know which version exactly we've compiled with. Ah. Oh, did this have of int? That could be an important detail. Because what's int? Well, probably it's 32 bits in this system because we're doing all the other stuff in 32 bits. Ugly, but it works. Well, that's doing uint 64 specifically. So if you just want just a random distribution, yes, that kind of thing would be better. We likely need to emulate this, which means we need to know our random range. Well, our random range is supposed to be... Oh, so is this a Mersenne twister? Oh no, you see, I might need to be doing the 32-bit things here. So what is... Yeah, math.imul for all this stuff. And I think this is like the convert to int type of operation. Got too many other hashes. That's a bit flip, so it's probably fine. Now, I didn't pay close attention to what they were using. It's just an int, so it's probably 32 bits. But then we initiate a 64-bit Mersenne twister. Which I don't know if that actually is. Actually, judging from the random number we got, I'm not sure that it is. Okay, so that's our sample. It's JSON style. Maybe the 64 is internal state size rather than result bits. Yeah, those... don't necessarily look like 64-bit outputs. This is a Mersenne twister. It's not necessarily a 64-bit one. Plus, there's all the constants. Plus, there's this whole distribution question. But the actual range of our random number generator is 32 from the looks of things. Random range divided by range. So our range is 10,000. So we've got And then how do they represent random range? Because if the range is 10,000, but it's a bit range, you can't actually represent the top value. What was it? No, uniform int distribution. I was afraid it would be a big project. No, I don't know anything about their structure. Any of this documentation stuff. Numerics library doesn't defined in header random. We can eliminate some things. There's still a lot of directories here, though. No. Okay, for the actual term, can I even do that? Is it a separate library? This is seed sec anyway. Rosine Twister. Numerics library. Pseudo-random number generation. CMath. Numbers. And this isn't a subcategory, right? Pseudo-random number generation. Header random. Doesn't say where the header random is. Standlib random. Is this the C library, not the C++ library? Didn't you say the GNU libstan C++? libcsx, LVM, GNU C library, GNU C++ library, which is going to be even bigger. This is documentation. Wait. Source documentation? Doxygen, no. glibcxx. This is glibc. Okay. Maybe it's just libc++? Or maybe it's under LVM. Yeah, I'm not sure this is GNU C++. GNU compiler collection. Online docs. CSX status. Why is this so hard to find? New common, uncommon library, new televisioni. I guess it'd have to be under GCC? libc++. Well, yeah, libcpp, libstandcpp. So I guess it's here now? So they're going to be another giant thing. So I don't know. And this is like, it's range to be max int minus 1? Random range divided by range. We don't have data types for these. I don't know if they're floating or what. Limit is range times scaling. So this might be getting signed values, or rather unsigned values. It's only checking limit on the high end. And also there's answer divided by scaling. Which doesn't cover negatives. And we're clearly producing, there's clearly an offset phase here somewhere. I guess something we could look at in the meantime. Just to see. Oh, this is... Yeah, you don't have 64-bit resolution either. You can get at most 32. Well, 53-bit resolution on a float. So we've still got that problem. Well, maybe since it's int distribution, it return 32 bits, but it's a Mersenne 64. Well, maybe the 64 is internal state. In which case, this would be requesting ints from the distribution and we'd be okay. Uh, Actually, we could if we got if we. I might just like translate that into my existing server to save some setup, but or rather, I think I've compiled the server. Yeah, because I've had to check MapGen stuff. Except I think I may have been using the MapGen project for that. Uh, Nor do I even know if my hash is correct, but that is more straightforward code. Yeah, it's a big one. Uh, Nor do you solve our bounded problem, and I don't have a way to validate this yet. Well, where was I doing server testing before? Was that the mapping branch? Now, was I actually doing mapping in here? I thought I had a separate. Well, I know I had my like compiled up. I don't think I had. Didn't think I was doing source compilation there. Because that technically allowed me to get inside the map generation process. Or maybe it was just in the mapping branch. Yeah, World Gen. There was some other RAND source debugging. So we were in an it frame jar of games. Okay, so this is actually in the client that had the RAND. Well, as long as it's C code, it should be fine. Okay, custom random source, exit 0. However, this is where I also need to get into or rather, it might be easier to have full source reference from 2 hours. And as long as we're here, hashed spawn seed. Probably wouldn't hurt. Okay, it's a stand string. Technically, I don't think that changes anything. Except for the ability to use this funky for loop on it. I don't know how I'd print a stand string. So I just print the output. Did I already do this? We did world gen and we left this open. So that should be game source. Right. I guess I actually do want to run this. I don't remember if I was running it here, but... So many changes. Oh, no, objects is actually the thing. Seed was not declared in this scope. String is not under a stand. Okay, so we're missing here. Or they added some sort of import for this. Stand lib. Well, this is where we go back to the source. Do we have this up? Okay, so your server. You're an Elm compiler. You're that. You're a reactor. I don't think we're using that one. 2 hours, 1 life. So when you added spawning code, so something you guys did in that server.php. Okay, this is just add everything. Okay. Enabled you to use stand. There's hashed spawn seed. And there's stand string. Wait, no. Oh, is this a later change to use more stand stuff? Because I don't see... That's just a... Yeah. What did you do? There's random. Which is already using stand. So if that's currently in server, it had to be a change to server. That's not changing any imports. Include string? Okay. Change to stand string from C strings. Probably throughout all this stuff. No. Is this... Okay, this is 2 hours. I moved them around. Too many windows. I need this one. String is not a member of stand. I mean, it's just server. Oh, right. It's without the .h is the stand version. Right, so this locally needs... I probably should have a different directory for this, but... game source... settings... full screen 0... So I don't remember what directory I was using to run this before. Maybe it was mapping. Okay, so it's hashing that as this. And I don't know if that looks familiar. Oh, wait, maybe it does. Okay, our hash is correct. So we want to pull one sample from the Mersenne twister, see if that's right. Let's see, 2 hours. Too many windows. This is probably where, yep, random. So I'm not technically worried about that yet. I want to take what is I probably closed all these. One 1993764. Constructor, minimum value, maximum value. These are actually going to be, might be useful things for looking at range stuff. Seed engine. Call it as a function. To generate a random number. Doesn't say what definite type of number is generated. But maybe random bounded int is doing something internally? Which we're going to have to figure out. How do I print to 64? Maybe it's just long D? Ew. Oh, right. We only need you, technically, for this. Type unsigned int. Specify type of long int, but I type uint fast, aka long unsigned int. Do we have to do this? Okay. Unsigned long int. LLU. Front of format. GNU libc. Pride uint 64, uint 32. Int types.h. Unsigned long. Unsigned long int. Couplet argument deduction failed. Basic string. Oh. Okay, that's where that's falling down. Okay, so it's an unknown conversion type, so maybe it is just long. Too many windows. Okay then. Maybe those make sense as bits. I need to do an unsigned. Well, that should be fine. Did I do something? To print things as hex. Oh, I guess the function prints both. Okay, so we are definitely not able to produce a bit sequence. Oh, wait, it's said unknown. What? But it printed less stuff. Oh, that actually moved these over. Maybe this is a byte ordering issue? Yeah, I don't see any similar bit patterns there. Looks like maybe these are the first bytes, because I think that this may have been our old value. So did you ever finish cloning? And libccp? Well, there's no random H. Libstandcpp. That be stand random? Bits random. TCC? Template? Hmm. Oh no, this is actually defining this, and we've just got mixed characters here. Oh no, that's a parameter. Int type name. Oh, so this is operators. That's... What is the operation we need? Bits. Is it bits random H? Maybe. Uniform int dist. This is an H again, but maybe they're doing inline stuff. Template argument must be integral type. Result type, param type. Of course, if I don't have upstream numbers, it's not going to help. There's equal. Are AB are two bounds? Construct an object. Resets the distribution state. Param AB. Parameter set of distribution. Inclusive lower bound. This A, this B. Okay. Generating functions. Okay, operator blah blah blah. URNG. And its parameters. So operator function of this returns a number. Where does it do the bounds checks? Or the scaling and stuff. Okay, so this is downscaling and upscaling. We're probably downscaling. URange can be 0. URange is random number range. UC type scaling. UC type is common type, G result type, U type. Well, it's the same as the min and the max, the range. Does that mean it has to be an integer scaling result? Range times scaling. UC type cast of random number generator minus min. Oh, there's a loop there. But that's the limit with it scaled back up. Which was, okay, that was the other thing. Yeah. Yeah. You are in Arcean range. Random number range. You are in Gmax. You are eng.min max, which we've already seen it producing what look like 64-bit values. Which appear to have no bit relationship to our values. So this might come down to the random parameters. U range, param B minus param A. Oh boy. Wait. Is that the one I copied? ST Brum. Okay, yeah, that's that version. And this is not JavaScript. All right, so what is our other options here? That's uniform. Yeah, this definitely does 32 bits. Maybe you could arrange it to get the same bits, but 32 bits at a time? Rand, yeah, there's the 31 rand real, 31, 32, so that's the same thing. This is the one we looked at, which seems to be 32-bit. Yeah. Okay, that's his original. That's that one. That's unsigned long. Yeah, so nobody has tried to do an actual 64-bit implementation. Oh no, generates a random number on 53-bit resolution. Oh, no, 31, 32. Init, init, init. So there was definitely unsigned longs. Oh, wait a minute. Am I getting confused? 8-bit, 16-bit. Okay, yeah, so this is only 32 bits. And I don't imagine that what was the name? Random.h is Mersenne Twister Engine, an alternative Mersenne Twister. So yeah, UINT 16, FAST64T. Yes, this is all type deft, so it could work with other things, but this is specifically a 64-bit version. So I don't... Maybe if you did a 32-bit version, it would do one and then the other, but... We also have the question of the seed values, which these seed values are going to be larger. So we very specifically need this. And I'm pretty sure we got no hits for this. There's one in Go. Yeah, so we would have to write this from scratch. Uh, 2 Hours, One Life edited the seed system. Unfortunately, they used a standard library random number generator rather than one of Jason's random number generators. And in particular, they used a 64-bit one, which means it's going to be extraordinarily difficult to emulate in JavaScript. So we can't put a translator in the map. Or I'd have to write something that did all the 64-bit operations and paired 32-bit operations. Do they do the 64-bit translation? Because the JavaScript numbers just don't have that much precision. I'm also a little bit scared of how big the resulting thing. So it would do it in typed arrays. But I don't know if we can get something that would be like just... I mean, does it like sparse generate? Because otherwise it could be a really big program do a tiny little thing. So you would have to like pull this thing out into a little tiny program that would just take our, I guess, an int and a range, or a seed in the range, and call this thing, and then deal with it. So this Emscripten is going to be a whole little ball of wax. So we have to download it, we have to install it, and we'd also have to write the program that did this. Which, I mean, this is essentially trivial. So that's an int, that's an int, that's an int. Well, I guess reading the command line arguments might be a little less trivial. So this was server. We'd been operating in game, which is, yeah. The setup to compile something. I know in the server, there were some little, like, I did like a, it was a map test, or a KISS test. And that was like a single file thing. Make file KISS test. It wasn't there. Make stress test. Yeah, so we've made KISS test. It's not going to be an H, not going to be a CPP. Not going to be a DB, not going to be a DEP. Oh, this is probably the script, not the makefile. I might have a makefile. RM. We have to specify the library it uses, which in our case is not going to be a whole heck of a lot. Okay, we're not going to have DBs. We are making a chords program. So we almost don't need a program for this. And I guess and we know that this translates as U, and we have a range of 10,000. I just put this in the base directory, probably. Maybe I did. Okay, make chords. So edit. What was he doing? CPP? C? CPP. And I need to copy that again from too many windows. I could probably actually use some of this too. Now, I'm a little... Well, there should be a main here. So we need... I'm probably going to need... like stand IO or something to do printf. Well, actually, we have to look at what Inscripted does. We basically need a function we can call rather than main. And we need the argument, so I do have to look that up. But if we were to just say, and I had this a minute ago. And that, I'm going to convert you. Can't open file for writing. I'm in server, and I called it server. Wait, pwd server, I changed f to chords.cpp. Okay, I guess we have to edit again to update that. Okay, so I was expecting to get this from somewhere. And we don't have this. Are you looking for executable stuff? I know the other shell like just runs whatever. Make chords, make kissed. Oh, okay, fine. Yep, I didn't want to run kiss test. All right. Okay, that shouldn't be too surprising that that's the correct answer. Now I'm completely rusty on of course, this is just a test. I don't know how this is going to work in Inscripton. I don't know if it does main or if I can just export a function. And if I could export a function, do I even have to worry about the string conversion? So if we take Happy Path, well, actually, it's going to be this, isn't it? argv. So 0 is the program. And then 1 is that, which we have to look up what to do with it. And what is A2I? Okay. I knew it was something like that. All right. Main print node prints hello world. Generate for testing. Okay. Extern C, argc, print to hello world. Do fancy stuff. Simulates a file. So doesn't answer me. How do we do interrupt? Integrating native code into the web environment. Connecting C++ and JavaScript. Call compiled C functions from normal JavaScript. Call classes. Call JavaScript functions. Compiled code memory. We probably don't need to do this very often. Compiled C function. So does that mean we could just do this? I guess you'd compile it as hello function CPP as HTML. I guess this is a test suite. If it's HTML. Exported functions, exported runtime methods. Might be removed if not used. That's great. CWrap in square root number name of the function, return type of the function. I guess these are the JavaScript types because they're just number. And this does the direct call. Okay, so this is, So we wouldn't actually need this except for that. Well, A2I is probably standlib, isn't it? No, we don't need to do A to I. We should be getting numbers. Oh, so they have to return 2 numbers. So either I have to set this whole thing up twice. One for X, one for Y. Or we have to have some way to return 2 values. Which would be kind of generally unusual type of C interface. I mean, unless you do the stuff to turn it back into strings and return a big string, and then you parse it back on the other end, which, well, strings still get a memory allocation question. Now, the bridge to JavaScript might have to copy results if, like, if we just had, like, a constant array that we always returned. Presumably, you can't modify arguments in any way. Access memory. Get value pointer. Ah, okay, so these were these you have to care about the very specific data type. Ccall. And then there is large amount of data from JavaScript to be processed by compiled code. Exporting allocated memory into JavaScript. This will fail. If I did keep some sort of static variable, I could have, like, we could do similar to to JSON's functions where you have, like, set seed, get x, get y. We're crossing the boundary 2 times. I could arrange it as get y, x, which sets y, and then you call get y. Maybe we want to look into the faster calling convention for that. But as long as we just call it get our results and get out. You wouldn't have stuff stomping on each other. And I don't actually recall if these were ints or unsigned ints or what. And then we would have I put server in there again. Hashed spawn seed was not declared in this seat. And we can do, what was it, GCC. Undefined reference to WinMain. Okay, so there'd have to be, there's some argument to combine it as to make it just a function, not a library, not a complete program. -C. Just to get a compile check on it. Okay, so that compiles. Let me take a quick stab at it, I guess. Well, if there's prerequisites. Python. .2715 or newer. Okay, that's platform-specific notes. Oh boy. This is the kind of stuff I was afraid of. Well, actually, is everything EMSDK? So we might just do that. Permission denied. So I basically have to use an administrator prompt. Now the weird thing is, this is saying Python 3. But Python is version, so I guess... Python, which Python 3? Okay, so they're checking for Python 3. This is especially important in math. So they're saying... okay. So whatever we have Python 3 installed for... didn't give us permission. Which sounds like I need to reinstall that. This is presumably Windows. They're assuming the client operating system .exe. Now, this isn't going to change path, so now we have to like reboot to get path sorted. Which turns it into the kind of thing that I don't want to deal with right now, because I'm really overdue for lunch. And I was hoping we could just kind of do something here, but clearly we're not going to get something to just work, because this is turning one of those infinite rabbit holes. Or maybe like you have to be, maybe you had to be admin to install it, and then it installed it with admin permissions or something goofy like that. But yeah, this is all stuff that I would need to... Well, if I'm having to reboot because of command lines, it's better to do it offline, although I've got lots of other things to look into this week, so I don't know if I'm making progress on that. Meanwhile, I'm hungry. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Yaroslav for the help. What do we got? Well, there's some Python automation. Meanwhile, this is about when I'm usually on, so today's a little bit late.
As well, so this is no longer...
But yeah, too many windows. Look for someplace cool to hang out. Carlos Kidman is working on some Python automation stuff. And that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye, and until next time.